Hi, fourth grade. I am so sorry I am not with you today, but I have the fifth graders out at the glass blowing school on a field trip. But today you are going to be doing your watercolor, and I wanted to show you a few techniques before you started because I really want to make sure that you know how to do this. So I have set up a little station here to show you what to do, and I just went ahead and quickly drew one Wiseman. Don't judge that he's not colorful, but I wanted to show you how to do this. Okay, first of all, you're gonna have a tray of paints, and I want you to see this. Watercolor is mysterious because it really truly does almost all look the same. So unless you swirl it and can kind of look, it's still a little bit deceiving. So what I did is I've marked it R, Y, and O. So you can see that this one's red, this one's yellow, this one's orange. So the first thing that you're gonna do is we're gonna talk about how your picture is gonna be set up, okay? So your picture on the bottom is gonna be red at this line going to orange. And then at the top of your paper, it's gonna be yellow going up to orange. So we don't want any orange right here on this line. We want this to be red and yellow. We want it to be a very clear contrast, which is like a difference in color. So we're gonna do red going to orange, yellow going to orange. Okay, so let me show you a couple of things that you can do. So since we're doing red down to orange, we're gonna start at the bottom first. So there are a couple different techniques you can do. You can start by putting your brush in the water, okay? And you can put some water down, just like this, okay? So basically you're gonna paint the paper with water first. And then you take your paintbrush and put it in the red. Now let me show you what happens when you lay it down. Do you see that? You see how the water, it starts to use it as like a road, as a way to navigate through the picture. Okay, get some more paint, you can lay that down. It's pretty cool, isn't it? If you wanted to make it a little more interesting, you could even come back and put more water down here. And it will soften it out so it's not quite such a abrupt end. And then let me show you what you can use gravity to do. It's called the drip effect. Isn't that cool? Okay, so you can do that. You can even come back in here and add a little bit more water. Rinse your paintbrush out really good. Add a little bit more water. Rinse your paintbrush out really good. And then you can go to your orange. Okay, let me show you what happens when we rinse our paintbrush out and go into the orange. Okay, so you can lay this down and it'll start to kind of blend in together with the water, like this. Okay, and then you can even just take your straight orange down here and paint it without putting the any water down on the paper first. And just take your paint and lay it down. Let me show you a couple of other things that you can do. Okay, so then you can come in here and let's say you want to just kind of lighten it up a little bit. You can put some water, and you see those little cool things that it does. You can put some water down. Okay, you can even rinse your paintbrush out. Go back in your red. You can put some red in here and let it grow and just see what it does. See? Isn't that cool? Go back in and get a little bit more red. You can lay it down, make some interesting effects. Isn't that cool? See how it just grows out? It makes all these really cool effects. Okay, so that's what you're gonna do on the bottom. So you're gonna go red to orange. So that means on the top, we're gonna go yellow to orange. So when you're working with watercolor and you have water right up on the line where you're gonna paint another color, if you put water right there, what's gonna happen to this little puddle of paint right here? It's gonna transfer over. So what you'll probably have to do first is just drip it down. Almost makes like a little marbling effect. You can do that, or you can even take a little paper towel and dab it off, which I don't have a paper towel here with me, so I'm not gonna worry about it. But you could do that, get this kind of effect. Okay, so then what you're gonna do is you're gonna take your paintbrush, you're gonna put it in your yellow, and we're gonna paint our yellow right up next to it. And I actually got my paintbrush in it a little bit, so I wanted to rinse it really good. So you want to make sure, even though you have oil pastels down, it can actually still get through the little holes of your oil pastels if it's not thick enough. So you want to make sure that you don't paint over the top of your oil pastel, but instead paint around it. See, look what happened right there. I got my water, or my yellow, and the water a little too close to each other, and so it started to transfer over, which is okay. So we're gonna almost make like a little yellow outline of our Wiseman right here. And I'm not gonna be too particular with how I do it because this is watercolor, and you know the best thing about watercolor is it's kind of meant to be a little bit messy, and I love that. So let me figure out how I can get this done quickly so you guys can get to painting. Okay, so here's my yellow. And now I'm gonna pretend I have a star right here. Actually, no, let me grab a little Sharpie real quick. I'll draw my star on here. You are gonna go over your star in Sharpie before you paint, so you won't have to worry about it. Okay, there's my star. I want my star to be yellow also. So I'm gonna put some yellow down kind of around it. But I like an idea of maybe putting some yellow in between. And then I'm gonna rinse my paintbrush because I'm gonna go from yellow to orange. And I'm gonna get some water, and I'm gonna lay some water down. I really like that effect when it kind of blends in like this. So I'm gonna put water down. So my yellow pigment's already starting to transfer. And I'm gonna make my orange blend in a little bit here too. So I'm gonna take my orange and I'm gonna lay it down here. I want it to be really thick over here at the edges. And then I'm gonna take just a little bit and kind of layer it in here, just like this. But I want it to blend. I really like the idea of a blended color. So I am just gonna kind of play around with it here until I get kind of the look I'm going for. I really like sometimes to just take a little water and just put it on there. It kind of makes it look like a little bit of a tie-dye effect. Okay, so what you're gonna do is you're gonna finish that picture all the way however you wanna do it. I'm gonna do this with mine a little bit. I think this is so neat when it does this. See how it almost doesn't wanna go past that line right there? Because that was where it's dry and the rest of it has water on it, okay? So when you're done, it'll have red to orange, yellow to orange, okay? When you're done, you're gonna go put this on the drying rack. I have a couple samples that I've painted with other classes that I have left with your substitute so she can show it to you. Put this on the drying rack, but be very careful that it doesn't, because it's wet, it'll try to fall through. Be really careful that it's positioned on there the right way, that it'll stay intact, okay? Once you're finished, put it on the drying rack, clean up your spot, put your supplies away, and then you are done for the day. All right, I hope you guys are being really good, because if you're really good, you get a Skittle. I'll talk to you later. See ya.